Are we good to go? Are we on our channel?
We are live on our channel.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We're gearing in for the fourth episode, I believe, of the Inquisition Radio Live podcast, where we talk about from software titles, namely Elden Ring is what we're starting out at. We are all here to kind of just let it air out, like talk some Elden Ring type of theory crafting, thoughts, prayers, everything we do to figure out the story and what's going on with it, with kind of an open format. My
That's right.
name is Rattle, and I'm joined by these illustrious gentlemen. We have the actual Boss Saucer. How are you, my man?
Doing good, doing good.
Excellent. And joined by the Golden Inquisitor, the root of this tree of gold that has
Hello.
started here.
It's me. I'm the one that screws up every time.
What what are you talking about? I think you're great. So
Thank you.
yeah, I'll repeat it one more time. This is the Inquisition Live podcast. We're still early on. We're still getting our pod legs down. I'm still mad it's not Podwin the Golden, but that's okay. I only tell them when they're live and everybody can hear. We're still getting our timing down, still talking about stuff. The goal of this is to be able to talk in a more open format, be able to share these ideas. We want to take calls. Speaking of, everything could be accessed to us. That sentence doesn't make sense. You can access the show by getting onto the Golden Inquisition Discord. They have a like a hold waiting room type of deal, and perhaps we can start that with this episode, with all two of you probably watching. we thank you for being here, and we have a fourth chair that we hope to rotate out, get some other people on here just to chop it up, talk
you know,
shop.
talking about the fourth chair. What do y'all think if we next week we bring in a fourth person? Welcome back, your pharaohs. What do you think about that? We'll just bring in
I don't
somebody.
mind.
I think it's sensational.
Should we? Let's discuss right here live. Who we want to? I want to throw in not Godwin. I want to see
Yeah, absolutely.
if he want to join us for an episode
If he's
next week.
able to.
Does anybody know him in real life? I'll message him. I don't know him.
I don't know. He won't return my calls.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, he
Probably because
seems
I'm not supposed
to.
to have his number.
Yeah,
He's
he
really
he seems too busy.
he is really
We
busy.
we have never spoken to him, so it's gonna be extra hard. But I think we can get him.
I think so. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you know not Godwin, make sure you shoot him a message for us. Let him know that the Inquisition would like to have him on the show. Be nice.
I think an interesting guest would be Jack the Mimic.
Yeah.
I
we could-
would. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
I
I
yapped
I,
so
I would
much.
I would just saying that that'd be a good idea.
I personally would love to. I don't think he's into it anymore, but if we could ever get the clout and the ability, I would love to talk to Ratatosker. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can shoot him in a message. I mean, I'm sure he's got a Discord or somebody knows him somewhere.
Right.
Let's see, who else do we know?
And
Mm,
Kipu.
oh yeah, that one. Get her on the show if she wants.
Bow show. That'd be fun.
Or
but he,
Bativi. Yeah, who knows?
oh, not Vatty. He doesn't have time for the low levels. Does he? Maybe he
Lowly
does.
tarnished.
Maybe he does. I shouldn't be cynical. He might have time. Miss Chalice.
Yeah, yeah, and let's pretend these are all like little owls from like Harry Potter being flown out with invitations tied to their legs. Like if any of y'all hear this stuff and you wanna come on our show and talk with us, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. I have a couple ideas too, a couple more.
Oh.
There's a show that's been around for a while called Sinclair Lore. I'd like to have like Sinclair and Sophie on here, or one of them, or both
Sure.
of them. I think that'd be great. Sophie knows her stuff, and she always has really, really great theories. And puts together the information really well. I think that'd be sensational.
Oh, I think that'd be cool. I've never heard of them, but I'm willing to hear.
Oh, you should check their stuff out. It's really, really good. It's
Is
really
it?
good. Yeah.
All right, I will. If send me a link, I'll watch their stuff. I'll put a sub on it. Maybe we get Dryleaf Aaron. I think he'd be interesting to talk to. The Tarnished Detective. Who's another one?
I like their stuff.
Yeah, Emerald Gecko. Maybe the Silvermont. I think it'd be really cool. I mean,
Silvermont's one of the OGs.
He is, man.
That'd be sick.
Back in the day, and I know I said this before on my channel, but I'll say it here. Back in the day when it was Silvermont versus Vada Vitia, I was hoping that Silvermont would be the victor, because it was kind of like the VHS versus Betamax, or DVD versus Blu-ray back in the day. Remember that? That's the way I felt. I felt like the community was. I'm old. Was kind of divided between those two.
Ferrari versus Ford.
Exactly right.
I don't think there are any winners or losers in it, because the winners are us as listeners. I think there's space for everybody. The more content to take in, the better. If you ask me, moi.
And I agree with you.
Man, if we can still keep saying a couple more names,
let's see.
Just cause, oh man, if you're evoking names like that, I wonder if Crunchy would ever want to talk to us. There's another one you got to check out, man. They have really good videos. Yeah,
go check. Maybe I'll go check out Lore Turtle. Send them a message.
Right.
I'm joking. They're AI.
I know, but I didn't know how to classy follow that up, because I'm not that funny.
No.
Maybe Scum Mage or Mikla's alt account. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, we could get both of them. I think it'd be interesting.
But, very, very busy, very, very popular people, and it would be an honor. It'd be really cool.
It would be.
So, as I mentioned in the introduction, this podcast kind of follows a bit more of a free form, which has its up. It's definitely got its advantages. We can interact with the chat. We can take questions in that. If you are in the chat and want to field a question, you want us to see it, just put an @IRL or something on there, just to make sure we can catch that and try and stay up on, because we know there's a lag to when we can actually field the questions and see them.
Right. And last time the chat was pretty active, and we were answering questions that weren't meant for us. That were, talking amongst themselves. And it's really hard from our perspective to know who's asking us and who's asking somebody else, unless you put the @ symbol at somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just put a little @ on there. We want to try and have a topic, though. That doesn't necessarily mean we're constrained to that. We just we don't really want to give listeners whiplash. It's really easy to tangent off on this, which at the same time, I'm not trying to be a hall monitor. I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but just to kind of help listeners, and especially in the notes when we start posting stuff, can say what it's about. So, for future listeners, if we are blessed enough to have them, they can kind of peruse what we have going on and kind of see what topics we're going to be touching in on. We spoke a few days ago, and I think one of the broad topics, we have a couple ideas for this show. We'll just see where it takes us, see where people want to talk about. We had mentioned millennia, just and begin. Just pretty broad topic on that one. A little bit of a cliffhanger here. I don't know if I don't want to gas anybody up too much, but I don't know if it's going to come to fruition. But both Boss and GI have had some really interesting breakthrough theories in the past week, and I don't know if they're going to want to hash those out. But if they want to, I hope they do.
I might consider it. I mean, there was two, right? And I did one on my stream, and the other one we could discuss it if it comes up. But if Boss wants to, I'm down to listen to whatever Boss always has to say. He's always got something. His perspective in the lore is much different than a lot of people, so I'd like to listen to that too. But
Maybe.
maybe he says. But for you, Rattle, you were discussing the Shaded Castle, right? And so I brought our Albanorit to the Shaded Castle to see what you were talking about. If you wanted to look at anything, explain what you were theorizing or what you're hypothesizing, and we could, walk through it with you.
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay. Well, all right, everybody bear with me. It's a bit of a half-baked idea, which are all of my ideas. But that's why I enjoy talking with you guys because we can hash this stuff out. And sometimes the stuff that we start talking about completely morphs into other things that make even more sense. So that's why I really like these experiences. When when I was bringing up this place, I was bringing up when we were talking about millennia, and I think about millennia a lot when I'm alone, and I mean, um, there are aspects of her that I mean, her whole presence spans the entire story quite a bit with lots of different aspects. So I suppose for this primer, if you could warp to the bonfire at the Castellan's Hall, please and
At the
thank you.
hall.
Yeah. So
Uh,
we can talk about the Raw. We can talk about that whatever you want.
okay.
Yeah, where you fight Elmer or
All
is that
right.
his name Elmo?
Elmo. Yeah. Let me head up there while you introduce your theory.
Okay, well, where we're at right now is the Shaded Castles. I'm sure a lot of folks know. The House Marai were Castellans here for generations, and I'm kind of half citing just straight up the item descriptions with stuff here, but that's concrete info. So they live here, they work here, they take care of things such as executions, and on some of the items that you get, it'll mention things about, quote unquote, how the sausage is made, the dark things that need to happen for a society, a sophisticated society, to keep marching on and become more and more successful. So they were put in place as there are Sarash rugs and everything all over the place. I'm presuming that they are employees or landlords, landholders for the Golden Order, or of the Golden, or I'll say Lendale for right now. Again, they carry out their executions and such, and they have special mass and they love the rod. This place is also covered with statues, and as we see a lot of these same statues in Lendale, and it ties into the statue that Radigan had commissioned for himself, and thus they may know more than others about the true nature of the ruling order of the land. All
Right.
that being said, when you get into this main hall, you see a pretty big just well, I don't know if it's there to celebrate millennia, but I mean people also are eating their dinner in here. We can see plates still out, big tables and chairs, and a bunch of these prosthetics hung on the wall next to a giant painting of millennia. And so
I'm getting my ass kicked trying to do this
yeah,
for you.
the dogs, the floofs, they're getting you. They're getting you. Sorry, I need to not watch so I can stay on topic. Um, Okay, back on track. We know that they had a lot to do with the rot, as they said. They were all sickly born. They got a lot of bad stuff happening to them, and they found a goddess in Millennia.
Right.
Let me see. I'll read the Mirai robe right here while you're still working that out. And that's just what it's called, Mirai. And if I'm saying it wrong, please somebody correct me on that in chat or wherever you like. The sons of House Marai are all sickly born. Little wonder that Malay Marai would be so beguiled by the beautiful and fierce goddess who was born into rot. As we know, that's pretty much, we know who that is, as that's been some of the same words describing millennia. Another another tunic or gown or attire would be the official's attire that says grubby blue robe worn by magisterial officials to carry out their grim tasks. Sorry for my stuttering. The TV's so far away from me, and I really need glasses. It says surveillance, executions, gruesome rituals. The darkest duties drive the wheels of mankind. So we know they're here doing work, and we know they have stuff to do with the rot. Now, how this ties in with millennia has to do for me, and like guys, interrupt me too, because I know I'm yapping hard right now. So
No,
I'm
no,
like
you're
trying to
good. You're
take.
good. I'm just trying to beat this guy in the one shot.
So where a lot of my fascination with this place begins actually with the prosthesis wearer heirloom. A talisman engraved with a scene from a heroic tale, and it raises dexterity. Though born into the accursed rot, when the young girl encountered her mentor and his flowing blade, she gained wings of unparalleled strength. Now, if you're listening along, or if you're just happen to have photographic memory of what this thing looks like in your mind, you see two figures on here. And what always got me is it's like, okay, this is the swordsman, teaching millennia or this person how to fight with the sword, as we see on other talismans and other things having to do with millennia. This whole blind swordsman act is actually told amongst a couple of talismans,
Right.
items, and what do you call them? Battle arts.
She's
But
a war.
Ash's War, exactly. And there's a whole ancient history involving this blind swordsman, a blue fairy, and Rod. Oh, here we are.
Yep, we're here.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Millennia.
Oh,
So,
hi. oh, oh, hi, Greg. Oh, I mean, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
I think Greg works too.
She's so
So,
beautiful.
you,
Anyways,
you see all these prostheses. Oh my goodness, I'm butchering them. I'm so sorry,
prosthetic,
everybody listening.
all these prosthetic
Yeah,
legs
stuff. Hey, see all these things?
and arms.
Yeah, so why are they here? Like, do they craft them here? That's how I always took it at first. Do they
Uh-huh.
make them here? Like maybe somebody made the statues? Uh,
Huh.
so getting back to the heirloom,
Uh-huh.
if you look at the figures on the heirloom, you can see one is clearly millennia, or a millennia-like figure, because as we see with Millicent and the other daughters, apparently buds of millennia look just like her and have the same afflictions.
Okay.
But that might be, muddying the waters a little bit. Oh, thank you, you brought it up, so I don't have to crane my
Yeah.
neck over there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm trying.
excellent.
I'm trying to be helpful, bro. I got you.
Hell yeah, brother. So take a look. I mean, on the left, we obviously have millennia. On the right, we have, whom we can presume is teaching her how to fight.
Right.
If you look, they both have prosthetics.
Do they?
That was the first
Oh,
thing that
the
kind of
arm.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. They both have the same missing arm. They both have the same type of prosthetic there.
Yeah, he's definitely
And if
one
you look,
armed, and he.
yeah,
I don't see. I can see that she's got the prosthetic leg already, and he's just missing an arm. Okay, I see it. I never noticed that before, but wow. Okay,
yeah.
good
And
catch,
if you
man.
look closely, thank you. And if you look closely at the millennia figure, her eyes are drawn a certain way. And if you look at the gentleman on the right, his eyes are drawn completely differently. They are like lines. Okay. We know that the swordsman that taught her is blind. I believe we learned that from the blue dancer talisman itself. And so it makes me wonder if this is in fact the blind swordsman.
Okay,
Uh, blue dancer charm, not
yeah.
talisman, but
Well, it's in the
dancer.
talismans.
Right, right. Um, See, it says here the dancer in blue represents a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god of rot itself. So this swordsman had a history with rot and is now teaching millennia. If with a flowing sword he sealed rot, why is he teaching millennia? probably to also seal Rot. Maybe to
With it,
take on.
like seal it within her.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. As far as we're both being guided by the lore here.
Uh-huh.
That could be you and I on that heirloom right now, and our holding hands is us holding the lore as it's guiding us through blindly with limbs
Right.
missing, trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, though.
Tell me.
So I don't know if you have it yet on this character, but do you have the Mirai mask?
Mirai mask.
I'll find the name of it for you.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
do.
can go to the guy to the west. Or if you have it.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a big old golem. He's just chilling out there, golem chilling, hanging out.
Mirai mask. Right here. I have everything
It would be
almost.
next to Tanith. There it is. There it is. Booyah. All right. So look at their eyes. Are those closed eyes?
I you know
Could
what?
could
I've
this
thought
be the
about that.
blind swordsman?
You know what? It could be it being a mask like that, right? The person in wearing the mask has to see, so it could be slits. And it could be representative of somebody having their eyes closed. But like, hold on, let me put it on. I always thought with the way it looked in the picture that it was more animalistic. Kind of like the people that we see in what's those Avatar movies with a blue cat? I thought they were like animals, like, but now that you said that they've closed the eyes, if we look closely at it, it does look like inside the slit of the eyes there are like white eyelashes. I don't know
Right.
if y'all can see it in the stream, but it
I
looks like
kind of
there's
can. Yeah.
yeah, like white eyelashes. So it could be they could be blind or Asian, but blind most likely. And with the discoloration, they could definitely be sick because aren't they like supposed to be sickly all the time, right?
Yeah. They said they were born into sickness and such. So it made me wonder: is the blue swordsman a Mirai? Because again, if you go to the official's attire and the Mirai robes, find the name of that for you again. And I will get better at this, everybody. I appreciate your patience. The Mirai robes, they're blue and they're flowing. There it is, down by the godskin, with the gold
Right,
sash on the shoulders.
right. The sons of the House of Mariah are all sickly born. Little wonder that what's his name?
Malay.
Malay Mariah would be so beguiled by the beautiful and fierce goddess who was born into rot. Hmm. Okay.
So if the mask is attributed to the first generation of this family, and if the mask has to do with the blind swordsman, so was the blind swordsman the first Castellan of Lendale of that ancient order? Was rot a problem back then and then sealed away? And are the Mirai like a parallel family to to America, so to speak, or to the ruling class of the
Uh-huh.
golden lineage? And if they are, could they have anything to do? Like it'd be natural that they would. What like why are they so into millennia? Is it because somebody of the golden is exhibiting rot? Like
Uh-huh.
if they're all sickly born, is their family hand in hand with the rot as the golden lineage was hand in hand with the greater will? Now that's a loaded statement. I come from like my personal standpoint, and a lot of people's is rot is an outer god, but I find them to be on par with the greater will. The greater will is just what's in charge right
Right.
now. But I don't know if that's really consequential as much as it is just me yapping, saying what I think. Um,
Hmm.
so um, it makes me wonder if there are politics at play. If everybody in the Mariah family is sickly born, is this how rot got into the golden lineage in some way, shape, or form? I don't
Hmm.
know how the twins are born. I'm not saying that Mirai and Marika bump fuzzies, and now we have, these twins. But there
Right.
was some kind of ritual as to how they came about, it just makes me wonder, maybe this is how Rot infiltrated the Golden Lineage, was somehow with
Hmm.
this relationship with them.
Interesting. And Nikapu, welcome back. She tells you you're doing great, by the way, and you are doing great. I like your theory. Um, it's definitely different from what I always thought. Um, so in a sense, you're saying that you think the Mirais are parallel to the Melania's rot or whatever the rot that we see in America and Radigan, right? So because if this rot is present there and they're sick here, am I getting the gist of it or shit?
Well,
Am I
sure. I mean, there's really not a ton to get the gist of just yet, and I apologize for that. This is kind of where I'm at with it. Like,
okay?
if I felt like I had better legs for this to walk on, I'd probably make a video about it. But I
Uh-huh.
don't have enough empirical, proof or an entertaining way to present it.
And this how
This
it
is
Yeah.
just kind
starts.
of
I like
yeah.
it,
This is
but I
kind of
think I have some information to clarify, like some facts you said. I think this guy, like the last head of the Morais family, he made Melania into his personal god. The bloodline itself didn't have Melania that high status. It was only him. I think it's the Anspur or somewhere he said that said.
Let's look.
And I have further opinions, but not of the present, but of the past of this place.
what you got.
Well, my mind went to the ancient kings of Rot. The mushroom set
Oh
is the
yeah.
word.
Oh,
That this place could be the ancestral castle of the Rot kings. Because the Marai family could be descendants of them, because they have a curse of poison, like sickly
Uh-huh.
and stagnated things. Or they could be just like assignated Castellans from Langdell, and they were stationed here. And I think the dress from the Marai guy, I think that's the Inquisitor said. I think Giza have it as well.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure if it's like blue because he's related to the Blue Dancer, or it's just a blue dress because it's blue. But yeah, I
Right.
think they are related to the Rod Kings, and maybe this is like the ancient Rod Kingdom they are from. And really, we're pretty near from the set. I think the cave where you find it is like in Gelmir, so maybe that's where they went when they were expulsed. Whenever the Rod Wars began, because I have my idea of the Rod God having like control over some land, maybe this place. And the Blue Dancer fought everyone here, and they sealed the god. And the way of water civilization fought the rod civilization. But who
Uh-huh.
knows?
Your
If I could
Pharaohs has
add
a
something.
question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask Boss a question, but we can go ahead, of course, with Pharaohs. What was he got?
His question says, could it be related to the Nox since the weapon is described as flowing sword? And I think he's talking about the blue dancer bestowed a flowing sword to.
I mean, that's the water civilization, like the underground Nox having water plants or water dams. If you don't believe my water energy thing, but or I mean, the Nox are pretty close to the Asian dynasty, so the Asian dynasty and the Nox and everyone who's underground is water based.
Uh-huh.
It
Somewhat,
could
so
it could
could
very
be.
well apply as there are like three different types of swords that I feel that could be attributed to this, and I'm not saying that's a rule. That's just how my Swiss cheese mind organizes this. And those three swords are the Anspur rapier, which we're
Mhm.
looking at right now. A
Right meow.
curved sword of some kind, as we see on the curved sword talisman,
Uh-huh.
that helps with the guard counters. Because I guess they're saying that like the blind swordsman could like block an attack and thus knowing where the attack came from could strike back. And so that's a curved sword that could be a flowing blade, I suppose. And then there's the actually like curvy blade, which I'm so embarrassed I don't remember the name of it at the moment. Um,
Or the flowing sword, the one who's found in the carriage in the consecrated snowfield.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I
The,
think
the answer is yes. Oh man, I wish I knew it like you guys knew it. Like
I have that sword. Hold on, let me look in the inventory. But okay, I'll let y'all finish first, and then I want to say something.
all,
Let's
all,
see.
all I was gonna say is the interesting place that the Shaded Castle exists in. At one point was Lendale or that plateau attached to the lands of Gelmir, and this was pulled apart. The reason I bring this up is we see a lot of the poison kind of collect in this basin in this valley,
Here it is.
and as we see in Sekiro, a lot of flowing curved sword. Yes, yes. As we see in Sekiro, which might not be fair to pull from a different game entirely, but I just figure it's the same artist. So, we could look at their other stuff for a little bit of insight. A lot of the problems from the waters end up the further downstream you get from the source, from the fountainhead source, the
Uh-huh.
more problems you have, like all the way down to Mibu Village. And Genichiro was getting was going crazy because he was taking in the dregs. Like this is like the bottom of the bottom, like where the sediment, the heaviest elements of this holy water would settle in, and he would eat that, and it was changing him. Maybe this shaded castle area is a place potent with a lot of power or spiritual or shinpi or
Or
arcane or whatever you
in
want
the
to call it.
water.
Well, it's just it's a basin where all the stuff goes, where everything flows down.
Yep.
You can see it on the map. You can see the castle is flooded and the stuff. It's all downstream from everywhere.
It's even sunken. It's like a sinkhole in that
Yes,
basin.
sir.
Right.
Yes,
So it
sir.
could be a cavern underneath it. That it's basically the ceiling of the cavern is like breaking, so that's why it's sinking. Who knows?
But this water sits here stagnated because you don't see it touch the actual coast, the actual shore. So
Right.
this water just sits, and you have Miranda plants and whatever you call those enemies that are like zombies, and you have basilisks. You have all of the dark undersides of things.
Yeah.
Of
Maybe the castle is like blocking the way of all that influx of things. Maybe the castle is like the tap.
like a cork
Like a dam,
or like
Maybe.
that's a good
Yeah.
call too.
maybe. I like your idea. I like that you think there's a connection here. 'Cause- yeah, I like that. It's much better than my connection because what I always thought with this area was a much darker, a darker theory, and I tend to go that way because I'm messed up. But like
Edgy.
I'm an edgy because like Boss was saying earlier that the rapier item description says uh the Scarlet Rot is an old legend, right? An old legend. So at this point, to me, that's saying it's an old legend. They don't know about Scarlet Rot yet, right? Or it's not. It was an old legend, or is still, or it is. It says is an old legend, so it's a legend. So maybe nobody's interacted with it for a while, right? Of which, whatever. Why do you say that? Marai? Oh, the Shaded Castle was a private
LA,
believer.
right. Yeah.
So he believed in the old legend of the Scarlet Rot and stuff like that. And indeed, he eventually found his own personal goddess. So he so if he was sickly, he believed in the rot. Did that mean that he believed in the power of the rot? And when he saw Melania being afflicted by rot, his legends became true, and she became his focus, his goddess, right?
Personal goddess.
Right.
Like he was actually praying to her. I mean, he had a whole
Well,
photo of her, like, a whole
yeah.
painting.
So to me, this was like some type of like sick, monument to her. Like if she outgrew these, or if these were old prosthetics, he was collecting them, in my opinion, in a like in a creepy, neckbeard way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a stalker. Like he's enshrining all the discarded things of her in this room.
But that's just me.
So so it's like the Mariah family or the head of this castle just had a thing for millennia and just has all
Yep.
these clean rot knights armor
Yeah,
just around.
everything that represented her or was attached to her, he not the whole family, just this one guy. He was like obsessed with her, and
So
I,
why
I'm
are the clean rot knights stationed here?
why? I
Well,
mean, that's a good question. I have no idea.
yeah, I would say you're half right. Like he was obsessed, but he didn't fumble her, or at least the relationships with the Halic tree. But because I'm assuming they built the armors and maybe they worked on the prostheses. I mean, he was totally obsessed. Don't don't get wrong. But yeah, he had like relationships with the Halic tree. Just like I mean, the Halic tree is like open to everyone. The Halic tree Island, like they have even uh, I, I I think they gave like a ice axe to Liurnia. I mean, I think it was Castle Soul, but Castle Soul is like another vassal
Right.
of the Halic tree.
I don't know.
It makes me
Yeah.
wonder if like Mariah family were chosen to be clean rot knights. Like
Well,
were they recruited from this family line?
from what that could be possible. But from what I understand, all the clean rot knights were females. So if all the women,
Are they?
yeah, from I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think it's stated uh, in the armor. Hold on, I have the armor.
I'm not sure because I mean, the only named Clearer Knight is like
Finley, and
the
she.
yeah Finley, and she is a woman, and she carried Molania up to the Halic tree back. But I think it's not implied that all of them are women.
Hold on, let me double check because I could be wrong because I know I read that somewhere. Your Pharaoh says he just has a small crush.
Just a little crush. Just
Aren't
crushing
we
on him.
all?
Did you have a Ash of War equipped to that Antspur rapier, by the way?
I did.
Okay, because that
I
that threw me for a second. I'm like
Yeah,
poison moth. What? What?
yeah, so you can do poison and rot damage at the same time. It's dangerous,
It's crazy that those are separate. Poison
right?
scales with arcane, but rot does not.
ooh,
That's
and Akibu said something interesting.
what she said. She said, "You get the prosthesis there, so perhaps Finley stopped at the Mariah Castle while carrying her to the Halley." Oh,
That's
that's a very
true.
interesting, very
She has
interesting.
a brand new arm, and she broke it. And
Oh
killed it.
shit!
I always wonder if like Millennia like kind of turned into that big old bud in the middle of Aeonia. What was carried back was like a bud, like a like one of his like Finley carried back a branch, and that's what that bud was in the room next to Millennia's chamber. Was that like turning into a person again? Does that make sense? I'm kind of like
No, that's what I was about to
I'm
say. I was
shooting
thinking
from the hip on that one.
No, I was thinking the same thing that Melania probably died, right? Her body died and she took a bud and took it back to the holly tree, right? Stopped here, picked up an arm, a leg for her, took her back to the holly tree, and then she grew from that bud again. Kind of like Deadpool grows, a new body if just have his head or whatever, or any part of him, it just grows again, right?
Yeah, just regenerates. I've never seen the movie, but I
Spoilers.
think that's how it works. It seemed like 10 years old in that at this point.
Yeah, probably.
But sorry, my voice is really hoarse tonight. But
That's okay. I guess I was wrong. I guess I assumed, I thought they were all females. I thought it was really
I
cool.
kind of presumed that as well, but just because they use the word Valkyrie and stuff so much.
Oh, then
I mean,
okay then.
it's me kind of like connecting a lot of things, and even though they didn't really say, it's a bunch of presumption on my part. So I see where you're coming from.
Right. They got the long red hair and legs that don't quit. So why not? I mean,
Them getaway sticks.
them getaway
But
sticks.
slumbering demigod Millennia. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
What it says in that in the item description.
Right there, yeah.
But somebody's
So
cooking
maybe
in
she
the
was
chat here.
a bud.
So we
That's
have an Ekpu throwing up some more drops of lore here. What if Haligtree, where Mikola was growing, was wasted on Millennia instead to return her to life? If we follow Golden Inquisitor's words, dab, dab, dab. She's dabbing on us right now with GI's words. Could
You know
somebody
what?
clear that up for me? What she means?
Right. So because the Haligtree was supposed to house people and like give life, right? And we find the Haligtree completely rotted and dead, and Mikla was trying to feed it with his own life force, right? And if she was like this bud, then growing inside the Haligtree, she sucked the life out of the Haligtree for her to live.
That could very well be. I always thought that she wasn't supposed to go there. Like she brought the rot with her, and that's what kind of started the downfall of that tree a little bit.
Really? You know what I always presumed? I always thought that Mikla gave up on the Haligtree because Millennia rotted it just by her presence.
And that's why Moog nabbed him out of there. Like it's another inversion of what they lead us to assume. Like Mo didn't abscond with his infant form, saved him.
Right. He called out for help, and then
Yo Pharaoh says, "Clean rot knights are half insect too, right?" I'm not exactly sure. I don't really think I kind of subscribe to an old theory that if you look at the stuff coming out of their armor, that they're just like covered with bewitching branches.
Right.
They're under a spell. Just
maybe that's
people.
Oh shit. That's a good idea. I don't know who came up with that idea or if you just did, but that's great because why else would a knight commit themselves to Millennia and be rotted to death if not bewitched?
Unless they were afflicted already.
If you look at the descriptions, it just talks about them like even though they're eating shit and dying, they like love it. Those are my words, not the item description words. But that's the vibes that I got from it, which is completely subjective, and I'm wrong about many things. I'm also a goof.
Not me though.
That's what I always kind of took from it, though.
Yeah, no. I think it works.
The right one.
Anna Nikapu says, I don't know if I said it right. Anyway, she says Moog was Plan B. I agree with that 100%.
But
yes, that's true. Simping. There's nothing wrong with a simp when you're a pimp. No, I'm lying.
And you know what? I've been thinking of something.
Heat. Put that on a coffee mug, bub. Buckaroo. That's a good one. First item.
I was thinking on something. Do,
What you
do
got,
you
bud?
guys think Mikola was conscious when Melania arrived? The healing tree?
No,
It,
No.
no,
no.
no. That is a
Oh,
Okay.
completely personal belief on my part. I will always stand behind the cost of causality. I will always stand like I believe in my theories. I can be talked out of it, but
let me talk you out of it because I have thought about because I answered no too, right? But it's no, we're wrong
let's hear
because
it, Bucko. What you
because
got?
when we go talk to Thick Freya, right? Thick Freya talks about on the battlefield where Melania and Radon fought to a standstill, whatever, and she was hit with the rot and was dying from it. Mikla healed her there on the battlefield
Yes,
while they were fighting.
by getting into her blood. Yes, with
So
a kiss.
so Mikla was alive.
A kiss.
He was conscious and kicking, and he was probably
And
standing
he
on
was
sidelines.
challenged by Ansbach as well, back in the Melvin Dynasty. He was awake.
Yeah,
So there's like counter evidence to say that he was asleep. But you know what? I think the whole
Those are very
intro
good points.
animations are the intro images are wrong. Like they are misleading.
of course.
Yeah, they could be
Obviously,
like very early concept art. Is
yeah,
that what you
yeah.
mean? Or like they're lying. They're liars. They're lying.
Not lying, but they are like the over simplification of the events. Like they are the images of the tale of the shattering. Like we know Radan tried to invade Langdale and was stopped by Morgoth, so normal people would only make them of the same size. And when they show Moog taking Mikola, if you do not know the details, you can assume that he took him. And we now know it's not true at all. Or even Rykar being fed to the serpent, we know the serpent is like so much bigger than that iteration.
Yeah. That picture's crazy because you can see like shapes of a hand and like as if the snake was eating him a bit at a time, in like the
Yeah.
snake's body. It's pretty crazy.
And we assume he was ate whole to the serpent, and he was. And I think that image is like him, like his head decapitated, and the serpent eaten him, like he was dead before, or it's like a simplification of the events, or even the prosthetic. I didn't want to say anything about the prosthetic talisman or the heirloom.
Heirloom.
That is a image of a heroic tale.
Yeah.
Like that's a depiction of what people think that event happened. Like we're not even sure if they look like this, so people like they just imagine like two prosthesis users sparring or training, and that's the image they have.
Yeah,
So we
you're
don't
right.
even we are not even sure that's true.
You're right because it shows them with like rapiers, and if we look at the sword, I'm holding it. It's like this really goofy looking sword. It looks like
So
one of those Egyptian swords from ancient
yeah.
Egyptian swords or whatever they're called.
So I'm saying that the images from the intro and the prosthesis uh, drawings are basically what people are told that like this is a biased image of the happenings.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could easily say that. I mean, and at the same time, Millennia uses a katana, and her flowing sword is the waterfowl dance, and I can't say you're wrong,
Yeah, but I can't say I'm right either. So
but it's
like
heartbreaking.
this is the middle.
Like
It
why
is.
would they draw both with the prosthetic unless maybe her mentor was teaching her how to fight with a fake arm and
Or
it
that's
was all
just how
one
the tale is
piece.
told. Or that's
No.
just how the tale is told. Like a blind, handicapped master teaches a equal handicapped student be Melania, and that's the legend. Like a blind guy teaches another blind person. Like both are in the same
Yeah.
situation being taught. I mean, he is the same situation as her being taught to her. teaching her. So that's the legend. Like that's the image. And I think the Stargazers one is like a story as well.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
and I
that's
think this
fair.
I think the Star Scourge is like something similar. Like it was made for Radan when he saved Celia. So that's like the clear story we have because it's like factual. Because we know he saved Celia and that's the talisman of his. I think you can
Yeah.
check it if you want.
Well, I mean,
Whatchamacallit?
I don't want to treat them like hello, new chatter, but I mean,
Welcome,
I'm not
Chase.
trying to treat them like they're ancient Polaroids. You know, like they're not like actual depictions of a scene that went down. I do hear you though. If you're going to take an entire story and sum it up in an image, you know, there's going to be some artistic license taken there.
Yep.
Um, it makes sense.
Chase
Um,
Chase says here, he says that the flowing sword kind of gives him Beastman vibes.
He's not wrong, but I think that Beastman they don't know how to draw flowing designs because the Beastman Great Sword is like a crooked line, and I think the Beastman Scimitar or Group Sword doesn't have any design.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I have.
So I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I'm not.
do I? I'm trying to find the blowing. I'm trying to find that sword again. My inventory. To take a look at it. I find it interesting too, like those markings on there. Could that mean water? And then when we find other markings, could that be correlated to other engravings? You know, like
I
so
mean,
this symbol means water, just like other symbols mean grass.
Right
I mean,
there's if
I'm
if we look
thinking
at the
about the Divine
sword,
Towers, the Highland things.
if we look at the sword, and here in the, it's a perfect way to look at it right here for some reason. I don't know why the camera loving the sword, but you can see that there's like a plant bud or something. There's a line with three fingers, maybe, I don't know, three leaves laying on the ground, and underneath it there's definitely some type of imagery of movement that could be waves or water or, yeah, probably just water, but it's
Uh,
definitely odd.
Yo Pharaohs asks, "Who is this blue dancer fairy?" Sometimes I wonder if, much like you know what Boss was saying about them being artistic representations, and you know things can be lost over time and things can be warped and changed. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but like I mean, he did not say that, but I think that's part of what he you mean when you say that.
Somewhat, somewhat.
Those rivers underwater are named after fairies, right? Isn't that what people smarter than I have posited in their videos? Um,
Yeah, I think
people,
Siofra is like traduced to fairy in Welsh. I could
yeah.
be wrong too.
What if the rivers are the fairy? Like, you know, what if that's what it meant? Like the waters cleansed it and keep the rot caged and locked in underground. Maybe swept it down there, or they were used or fought there underground. I'm kind of floundering here, but
Right, but what do you, but the thing is, if the rivers are the fairy, then where did the image or the idea of a blind swordsman, come into play? I think the since it specifically says a blind swordsman, taught Melania or whatever, and sealed away the rot. There must have been a person. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah.
unless we want to think that this is that other Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli thing, where about the bathhouse and the spirits are people, or a spirit, where that river
You're talking
was.
about Spirited Away,
Yes, yeah,
and how there was a monster, but it turned out to be like a river deity. I've never seen the movie, but that's a well known part of it. And
right,
turns out it just needed to be cleaned out.
right. Unless you're meaning something like that, unless you suspect that the river spirit, took the form of a person and taught Melania.
or at least sealed away the rot, because we don't know if that coincided. I mean, perhaps like another suggestion that a very, very rough 3-point timeline. Rot's a problem. Uh, Needed to be solved. Blue fairy helps out blind person. Blind person becomes swordsman. Traps essence of rot in the rot area under stream. Later on, rot manifests itself in this girl. Blind swordsman trains little girl because already has passed with rot.
Uh-huh. Could work. Could work. Probably true.
Don't know.
Me
Don't know
either.
if it happened all at once or.
What
But
is
yeah,
this?
yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, great. So we.
Annie Nicopoos, do you know what she said here? I don't know what that word is. She's using big school words.
I don't know. That looks like a proper name. Maybe it's from a movie or a show.
It was, yeah. Good. Thank you so much. I agree with you 100%. Boom. She's so smart, y'all. Let me extend an invitation, Anna Nickapoo. You should come on to the show 2 weeks from now. There's only one thing we say to death, not today. Oh, what is that from? That is from The Order on Netflix. The Order, where they're all immortal, right? With what's her name, Charlize Theron, and when they die and stuff, they come back to life.
I'm sorry, I don't see a lot of TV.
No, I'm playing. It's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you this, because we're getting close to the end here.
Sure.
If you're looking at the stream, this is Jagged Peaks, and this is going to be off subject big time since it's the end. Does that not look like a petrified, broken tree trunk?
Looks like it to me. Kind of looks like that monument in Night Rain, like the big old twisty tree that looks like the Glowmine Queen greatsword. I forget the name of it. It has that same kind of pattern. But it's
pretty big. And you know what? It reminds me of. I'm sorry, Inquisitor. It reminds me of what Naughty Godwin said in a video of his that I think he put it out from somewhere that there's like a big tree and people was living in it. So the Jagged Peak could be the remains of the Dragon Great tree that he said in his video. I don't remember now. I do not know where he is to clarify this. Bless his soul. But reminds me of that. If that's a tree, if we assume that's.
The only reason I brought it up, because hold on, let me turn on the thing, the HUD, so I can use the compass as a pointer. Okay, so the diamond on the compass, right? Same thing I use on my stream. I was looking at this. Look at this right here. There's curvature out, and here on this one, you can see there's curvature out, kind of like peeling back bark. And there's a plate here that's pretty damn vertical. I mean, we're talking straight vertical segments here. You know what I mean? And it looks like, to me, like a hollowed out tree trunk, and with the bark splitting and folding as it dries in different directions. If you've ever lived in the forest, especially here in Texas, you see this. And this is what it reminded me. And that's the only reason I ask. And definitely with the layers, you can see the layering, right? You can see the layering here. There's different layers of tree bark and tree stuff. I don't know. Could be an ancient, super ancient tree, perhaps. Maybe not.
Could be the Dragon Great tree from their era that Bale burnt. Maybe that's why the war began, because Bale burnt their tree.
Maybe.
Who knows? But yeah, I believe there's like water civilizations. Maybe the dragons, they had a tree. But
Let's see. Your Pharaoh says, yeah, and Bale is inside that, just like Radagon is inside the Erdtree Radagon, the dragon.
Gotcha.
Got me. Let's see. I'm gonna let you read that one, Rattle. You can read the next comment. I don't know what it says.
Read them?
Yeah. Can you read it?
Uh,
And then Nick,
yeah,
please.
I can read it, but I don't know if they're slurs. I don't speak that language. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
No, I think we were blessing Godwin's soul. Sorry, we were
Dorime,
doing a
Dorimo,
blessing.
Adepare, Dorime.
Okay, there you go.
Oh no, it was for you.
Okay. You got
Yeah.
You got to put the at symbol of to whoever you're speaking to. It clears things up. My apologies. I don't know no
Yeah, we were
Spanish
blessing
here,
his soul.
Latinos.
I mean, that was Latin, like that was
that-
church Latin.
yeah.
That's all three of
I'm not
us,
Catholic.
though.
I'm not Catholic. Et tu,
I'm
et
not
tu
even
brute?
Roman.
That's the only Latin I know. Et tu brute? Et
All
tu-
three of us have Latin roots here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We
I'm
do.
straight up 100%. And then
I'm sorry for doxing you guys.
fuck.
Damn.
Soy mexicano. Yeah. I don't like Spanish. Arriba. I'm more like Speedy Gonzalez Mexican. I'm ashamed. I'm shameful.
What?
I'm
I
a
like
no,
it. We got great food.
yeah. I'm a no sabo kid. Let's see. All right. Well, let's call it there, gentlemen. And who's gonna do the outro?
Me, I can do it.
All right.
We cannot always rely on Rattle. He needs to have his breaks. You know.
That's right. He's carrying the podcast, which I like.
He is. He's the best
What
one
do you mean?
here.
I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, don't worry.
Way. No worries, bro.
That's the
Nothing-
best thing, actually.
I like to listen.
But yeah,
sometimes.
let me do the outro. Well, everyone, thank you for being here. We discussed many things. Maybe we will do more in the future. And maybe we will have someone next time. Who knows? If someone famous picks the phone for lowly tarnished like us. And yeah, I enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this. And see you next time.
I know I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
dude.
too. Good night, everybody.
Wednesday nights, 8:30
8:30.
Central, 9:30
Oh,
Eastern.
Jeez. 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Who's
You
on
got us
Eastern
recording
time?
late, bro.
Dude,
Me?
my bad. Well, I mean, it's
Boss?
late for me too. Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, boss, do it in
It's the Elden Ring
Spanish.
out.
Do it in Spanish. Do the outro in Spanish.
Okay. Bueno, mi gente, ya nos vamos para el carajo. Nos vemos mañana o el otro día o el otro, no importa. Yo soy Saucer. Bendiciones, mi gente.